Hey y'all, how you doing today? Hope you've had a good Christmas, and I wish you a Happy New Year. As you can see, I'm working on my daughter's Dodge Avenger. The big issue is she's got a bad wheel bearing and hub assembly. Now, for those of you who don't know how to replace one of these, it's not that difficult. First of all, there is that nut right there. It goes on the axle, the threaded portion of the axle out here. You need to back that off. You probably best to do it with the wheel still attached to the car and have the weight of the car pressing down on the wheel. You'll need a large socket. I use an 1.25 inch and a breaker bar and also a cheater pipe. You'll probably also need some penetrating lubricant, and if you can do that, it makes life a lot easier for you. Now, when you get that all broken loose, then you back the nut off until it's almost about to clear the top of the nut. It's about to clear the threads. Then you take a large hammer, you smack the end of this axle where it's loose in the hub, and then it's not loose right now because I got the wheel turned this way. But you get that broken loose, then you can turn that thing, and that axle is loose in there, and then it won't give you any trouble when you start to take the hub bearing assembly off. Now, I'm pulling the caliper off right now. I went and already pressed the piston back in the caliper just a little bit. And so, taking the pads off right now. Get this caliper bracket out of the way too. And matter of fact, I don't even have to pull that pad off. I just realized that. So when you get, now all cars are designed exactly the same. Now, a lot of vehicles use this type of hub bearing assembly, but like I said, they're not all identical.
I really need to.
A lot of General Motors stuff uses that. Also, there's some Fords. There's a lot of Fords use that setup. And as you can see, there's some Chryslers that use that setup as well. So it's just one of those things you need to be aware of. There's no real way to determine when this thing is going to go out. I guess when the car is getting up there to 130, 140,000 miles, 150,000, be looking out for it. It's just one of those things that can and will happen.
Move that light.
But, when it does, it will make a roaring noise, and it will be very intrusive into the cabin interior area of the car when you're driving, making a lot of noise. A lot of grunt work. What this is, it's just a lot of grunt work. So, one of those things you just got to take care of. If you don't, it can really bite you in the hind end later. Alright, I'm going to carry on with this, and I don't want to make this video just forever so long. But I'm going to carry on with this. I'm going to move these bolts here that holds the caliper bracket on. There's 4 bolts back here. Can I see that, please? I hope you can see. There is, yeah, you see there's there's one of the bolts right there for the caliper bracket. And then these smaller bolts, these two smaller bolts, holds the bearing hub assembly on, plus two more here on the back side. So, anyway, got to remove all of those. Then, remove the I can remove this caliper bracket. I can remove this rotor. Then I can start removing the hub bearing assembly. You will need to like really hammer on that hub and bearing assembly. A lot of rust, dirt, and corrosion can get in there between the steering knuckle and the bearing assembly and really hold it in there tight. So it's going to take a lot of grunt, a lot of muscle, and maybe even a few curse words. So, all right, I'm going to get back on this and get busy, and got a lot to do. So thank you, God bless, and have a great one.